Hello, and welcome back to a Transformed Life podcast. I am so delighted you are here with me today. This week, as I was taking my usual daily nap, I was thinking it would be really interesting for someone to come and take care of me. And what would I tell them my schedule is like? And as I thought deeper on this take care of me experiment, the self-caretaker, you know how, parents bring in babysitters and they tell, little Johnny's schedule, he eats at this time, he, likes peas and carrots, my son, he loves seaweed. He takes a nap at this time, he gets up. If he needs space, he'll do this. These are his cues that he's tired. And what I realized as I pondered deeply on this topic is that we as adults have become, for one, we don't know how to dream anymore. For majority of people, don't know how to dream. They don't have a creative thought process. The life force energy is very dull. Maybe it's non-existent, it's dormant, it just hasn't been awakened. And adults are just kind of living on autopilot. They are not really aware of what they like, how their day functions. They just kind of go through the motions of the day. And so this whole podcast episode is all about the Self-Caretaker Experiment. How to take care of yourself like you would take care of someone you love. If you had to give someone instructions to provide care for what your schedule is like for, during a 24-hour period, let's say, what would you tell them? And so I want you to imagine with me for a moment. Imagine someone loving and kind and attentive and tender and really interested in what you like, what you don't prefer, if you like loud noises, if you are overstimulated, what do you like to kind of draw you back into that grounded energy? And their only job is to take care of you. That's all, to take care of you. That is their only job. That is their main focus. So you hand them a little note, a schedule, you tell them what time you wake up, how you like your coffee. I don't personally drink coffee. How you like your tea, how you like to linger in bed, how you either jump straight out of bed in the morning, how you kind of like to stretch and take your time getting up. I mean, being so nuanced with the itty bitty details, because those are so important to your whole life. When you can be grateful for those little details, that is how grateful you can be for the rest of your life. Your world expands because that's abundance and flow versus contraction. Also imagine what helps you reset when you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, stressed, lots of items on the to-do list. What helps you come back home to yourself, if you even know that? And so this is the thing that kind of hit me, is that most of us have forgotten what we like, what we prefer. We kind of have a vague idea of what we don't like, and we don't even know how we like to be cared for. Most of us treat ourselves internally very unhealthy, in a very dysfunctional way, with the things we say to ourselves, how we treat the inner younger aspects of us that needed reparenting, and the parenting they didn't get when they were younger, and we are reparenting them today. And so most people are disconnected because they're on autopilot. And so my invitation to you is to come back home instead of producing and performing and surviving, all very scarcity tactics and behaviors, and to truly tend to your own well-being and care. And how this will pivot your entire life, your business, your relationships, and especially the most important relationship of all, the relationship with yourself. So I'm really excited to share this concept with you because I have never come across it. If you have come across it, please let me know, because I would love to see who else is thinking like this. And so in this experiment, the Self-Caretaker Day, it shows you how you are really living, how you are showing up for yourself, for others, for your team, for your business, for your clients, for your customers. It can be humbling, it can be beautiful, and it's a mirror, it's a reflection. It's a deep introspective of like, wow, I have some work to do here. Or it could be, I am really doing well in this department. I am so proud of myself for doing this. And if you aren't doing well, just give yourself compassion of like, oh, that is good to know. I have awareness. And once we have awareness, we go to see, which is we can make a choice to change. Until there's awareness, we can't make a choice to change. And so you have choices when you are aware of what is happening in your field, in your body, in your mind. And the first thing I want to bring to your attention is, like we said a few minutes ago, pretend this childcare provider is coming in to take care of your child. Only you are the child. How do you want them to take care of you for the day? What do you want them to know of what you like, of what your schedule is like? And then write out your day-to-day 24-hour schedule of like when you wake up. Do you wait at the last minute to get out of bed? Does your alarm ring? Are you on your phone first thing, checking emails, checking social media? Do you go to the bathroom and you're using your phone on the toilet? Really get very clear on how your day is operated, because you're either operating on just autopilot and you're not even conscious, you're just unconscious. That's what Carl Jung says. Till we make the unconscious conscious, it will rule our lives and we will call it fate. And so maybe this is the first time you've actually like, oh, I do this. Wasn't even aware of it. How am I just floating through life? And if you're just floating through life instead of directing life to where you want to go, you're always going to be at the mercy of that. And we can flip that for you. And so just write this out of like, oh yeah, I don't nourish myself in the morning. I don't eat breakfast. I skip breakfast because I'm too hurried. I'm trying to get the kids out the door. I have, meetings. I have a team I need to lead. And you just kind of let the day dictate what's happening instead of taking charge of like, oh, this is really how I would like my day to be. Notice also when you write this out of when you are stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, maybe you're having panic attacks, maybe you're having anxiety attacks. Write out what your current strategies are for that. Do you push harder? Do you continue to ignore what your body is telling you? And that is also an opportunity to make changes, which we'll get to in a little bit. But literally just, take time today and this next week to really write out how a 24 hours looks like in your life to the best of your ability. Again, this is not about perfection, but this is an insight to how your day is going. Do you just get in the car mindlessly and you just drive to work and you don't even know how you got there because you're so on autopilot? We want to take autopilot off and we want to put conscious co-creator into our field. And so when you make this list of, what you like, what you don't like, you will, see these rhythms that either are in alignment or not in alignment. You will see where there's no space for breath or sunlight or movement or connection, rest. And it is a reflection of how disconnected you currently are from the woman or man that you are supposed to be caring for. and you've outsourced that to the world. And so this podcast, this episode, this teaching is bringing you back home, bringing you that connection to yourself, to source, God, and ultimately back into soil and nature. Part 2. So after you've written this all down, notice the gaps. And we kind of touched on this a little, a few minutes ago. But where are you rushing? Where are you ignoring your body's cues? Are you saying no, just one more minute, 5 more minutes if you have to go to the bathroom? This is very prevalent for a lot of women. Like, we'll just hold it 5 more minutes, 1 more minute. We'll go at the, the end of the break. And instead of like, I'm going to take care of myself immediately. I need to go to the bathroom. I honor that request immediately. We're not going to wait around. Where are you saying yes when you mean no? Where are you saying no when you mean yes? Where are your boundaries? Where's your lack of boundaries? Where are you not nourishing yourself in mind, body, spirit, as well as with hydration and nutrition? Movement is part of nourishment. Nourishing yourself with nature and soil and dirt. Nourishing yourself with mind-honoring practices such as neurofeedback, doing jigsaw puzzles, reading a paperback or a hardcover book, being connected with your hands, cooking a nourishing meal. And so there's a lot of invisible boundaries that you probably haven't honored. And then there's the subtle ways that you've abandoned yourself over decades, all in the name of productivity or peacekeeping. You don't want to rock the boat. There's a schedule to be followed. There's, kids to get to school on time. And all of that has been weighing on your system. And that is probably why you're having panic attacks or anxiety, because we've lost the connection to take care of ourselves. What do we like? What are we allowing that is not aligned in our life? And I'm going to be talking more about alignment coming up. And I have a whole initiative behind alignment and people that I'm super excited to talk and reveal about that. I'm going to pause here before we move on to part 3. This podcast is being sponsored by my latest startup called Heal Thy. You can see the sign behind me. And I'll put the link in the show notes below. Heal Thy is an incredible new revolutionary way where I am bringing personal growth and coaching and making it into a tangible product. It is building a healthy habit every 30 days. And this item will be in retail stores, and then you can also buy it online. You can start month 1 today. I will include the link below to get your personalized deck of cards. The first month is all about nourishment and nutrition. It's super insightful. Every day has a prompt and an action item, and on the back of every card has an inspirational, motivational quote. Comes with a little wooden stand and a muslin bag, so it's portable. It can live on your office desk, it could live on your kitchen counter, bathroom, somewhere at home. It's super pretty, so it will fit into your aesthetics and making personal growth a really a part of your whole life. So I would love your support on that. That is who is sponsoring this show, courtesy of myself and this creative vision that I have of bringing healing to humanity and the world on a global scale. So thank you so much for your support. And back to part 3 of the experiment of taking care of yourself. So remember that awareness is the first act of self-care. And so awareness for how you are talking to yourself, how you are thinking about yourself, the speech you say, it's a really good insight of what's going on inside of how we speak outwardly. So become very clear on your speech. That is one thing when I work with clients is speech is paramount, taking responsibility for the words that come out of our mouth. It also is in line with Kabbalah. If you follow David Guyam, he's very big on speech as well. So I highly recommend checking that out as well. So part 3, and this is the second beautiful invitation for you, is write your day again. This time from your higher self, the one who knows how to nourish you, who really knows what you like, those little, quirks, those little things that only your higher self and you really know. Like, I like to turn over in bed 3 times, like funny things like that. Everybody has their quirk. I like to make sure, the bathroom is set at, 76.4 degrees if you run cold. What are those little things? I like my towels warm. I would prefer my towels warm. I like to have warm feet. But really become super clear on what it is that you prefer and like, and what brings you back to life. And so how would you be cared for if love itself were your caretaker? Maybe your mornings begin slower. Perhaps your boundaries are clearer, and I would say that is probably more than a perhaps. Boundaries are clear, they are firm, they are held, they are kept, because they are promises to yourself. I commit to whatever, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you are committing to. And those boundaries are not crossed, because that is care and respect for yourself and also for humanity around you. When we have strong boundaries, we teach people how to treat and value and love us. Perhaps your phone isn't the first thing you grab in the morning. Maybe you aren't checking email first thing. Maybe you're eating meals. This is one of the things that I suggest to everybody, myself included, is that no phone as you're eating and nourishing. And we cover this in the Heal Thy business. Your gut needs to digest. And when you're not digesting food properly because you are scattered with what is on the phone, what is on YouTube, we want to be present. And gut health requires presence. And so, what is your highest self saying to you? Where do you really need to rein in your life? Put boundaries in place with your phone, with social media, with YouTube, with Netflix, with TV, with news, gaming. Fill in the blank. Your schedule. Always being available for everyone. Are you available to yourself, for yourself? And so, how much noise is in your life? Constant noise in the background. This is not frequency music, which I highly recommend if you're not playing frequency music in your environment, car, home, office. Start now. There's millions of free tracks on YouTube. You don't have to have a ad-free subscription on YouTube to make it ad-free. A lot of the channels are already ad-free, and so you can play hours of frequency music, so that will elevate the frequency around you. Highly recommend it. Super easy to do. It's free. Where is background noise, whether it's the voices in your head that are not aligned with where you want to go, whether it is things that you have to get done, write it out on paper. Let whatever is in your mind flow onto paper and see what's aligned, what is misaligned, what you can delegate to someone else, and what is just not working for you anymore. Part 4. So these are 5 aligned actions that I want you to take as you make this list of what your current schedule, how somebody would take care of you today, to what your higher self would really want for you. And write your caretaker notes like a really honest inventory. So this is, we're stepping into the practice. I'm all about practical tools, because it's one thing to just listen to me and listen to others and regurgitate the info. till we actually put it into practice, we cannot apply it to our life. So the practice with these 5 aligned actions is number 1, write your caretaker notes. Treat it like an honest inventory of really how you desire to be taken care of. And remember, you are the one taking care of yourself. And how would you tell someone else how you want to be taken care of? Look at it through that lens. It's such a powerful moment. And if you're blank, sit with that blankness until you can start flowing and writing things out, and let that list expand. Number 2, highlight the gaps. Take note of where you are neglecting, rushing, overgiving, undergiving, not being present, not showing up in your full autonomy, sovereignty. Where are you lacking in sleep and rest? So many neglect sleep and rest, and it's sleep and rest is one of the pillars for foundational health. And so look where you are not nourishing yourself, as in, excellent nutrition choices. Remember, you are in charge of your life. If you feel like life is just pulling you wherever and you're at, the mercy of the alarm clock and time frames, I need to be in the office at 8 a.m., start really evaluating where you can take your power back, your responsibility back of like, this is my life. This is what works for me. Maybe I need to switch jobs. I can't do that immediately. That is what I'm going to commit to and work towards that commitment. Number 3, and this actually touches on that, rewrite your aligned highest self caretaking day. Create your self-mothering manual. How do you want to be taken care of? Do you want to have slow mornings? Do you want to get out of bed in a slow, mindful way where you can enjoy the sunshine? You can have a nourishing cup of, caffeine-free tea. Maybe for you, it's coffee, where it's really relished with care, tenderness, just like you would a baby. Think of, children that you have interacted with, or maybe, your own babies that you had. How did they like their breakfast? Whether you breastfed them or on a bottle, like they had a certain way of how they liked it. Some liked it warmed up, some liked it cold. Some only liked it in a certain kind of bottle. Most, some preferred this kind of sippy cup. Other ones preferred this one. And so become so crystal clear on what it's like to take care of yourself. And how can you implement that into your day? It's just an amazing practice. Number 4, choose one act of care to live for in this next week. Some examples: slow mornings. Maybe your kids are currently attending, public or private school. Is this still working for you? Is public school and that system still aligned for you and your family? Is your family desiring a more integrated, slow, mindful life? This can mean we're going to homeschool. We could bring our kids home. We don't have to rush out of the door in the morning. We can have breakfast at the table in a calm, cool, collected manner. Feel your nervous system. Just even think of that and see how it settles into that. Where do you need to make shifts in your life? Where do you want your life to look like 6 months from now, 30 days from now, a year from now? And make commitments to that. Slow mornings, saying no, saying yes to things you do want. Of like, yeah, I really want slow mornings. I'm going to say no to that and say yes to this. Physical activity, movement, are your mornings. My morning routine is quite long and it's very nourishing. How would you like to have that as part of your life, where you're actually taking care of yourself? Because when we take care of ourselves, we can take care of our employees, we can take care of our team members, our customers, our clients. And if you are an entrepreneur, a founder, a CEO, Taking care of yourself in the morning is how you show up and take care of others around you. It starts with you first. And the more you take care of yourself, you're going to be at greater capacity for all those things that come into our field with decisions we have to make and, stressful situations and scenarios. It starts with being grounded and nourishing in the morning to ourself and connecting with Source, God, so that way we can have a clear day and a week and months. Number 5, reflect on this ripple of alignment. Reflect on this care for yourself, because only you get to take care of you. It's not someone else's job to take care of you. And notice how caring for yourself shifts the way you show up for yourself, as well as for the way you show up for others, for your team, for your company, and for the world around you. And so those 5 aligned actions are so pivotal as you move into taking care of yourself. And treat this as kind of like a very curious experiment of a day where you just kind of are on autopilot and a day where you are conscious of what is happening. Those little things of like, oh, I like this when I get out of bed. Oh, I like this when I go to bed. Oh, I like, some people, they sleep cold. Some people sleep hot. I like a weighted blanket. Maybe some people don't like a weighted blanket. But all those little things add up, because when you show yourself you care, your body and your nervous system relax and they respond to it. And so this is a whole practice around self-awareness, self-compassion, and consciousness. And when we have consciousness, we are no longer on autopilot. We are no longer a victim to our circumstances, but we are the author of our story. We are the author of our life. And I always say, others may contribute sentences to our story. We are the author of our chapters and volumes. Because when we take care of ourselves, we take care of each other. A regulated, nourished, grounded human changes the frequency of every room that we walk into. So this is not just about self-care. Perhaps it's about world care. Every time you listen to your body, instead of silencing it, instead of pushing it down, instead of telling it to wait, you recognize and you meet that need. Every time you rest instead of rush, every time you say no with love instead of yes with resentment, you're tending to the ecosystem that is you, your divine self. And that ripples out to your family, your community, and the rest of the planet and humanity. Thank you. You are the caretaker you've been waiting for. So go write your schedule and then start living it. I also want to close this episode with a little mantra that you can write down and say every day in the morning, maybe before you go to bed at night. And it's this, the caretaker within. I am safe to slow down. I am worthy of care. The way I tend to myself is the way I tend to the world. I honor my rhythms. I nourish my body. I protect my peace. I am my own gentle guardian. And remember, when you do all of these practices and awarenesses, is just such transformational work. And I'm really excited to see how this elevates and uplevels your life. Please leave me a comment below, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I would love to hear from you, or send me an email. Make sure to leave a 5-star review as well. Follow my YouTube channel if you have not already. And to end with this is what I want to leave you with as you move through your day. Whisper this to yourself. The way I care for me is the way I care for the world. Because it's true. Your self-tending isn't selfish, it is service. You are the caretaker of your own soul. And that is sacred work. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Please continue to follow this podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Hope Rose Speaks. And I look forward to seeing you next time. I have a really fun topic. We're going to be talking all about boundaries, making fast, aligned decisions, and an insight into a coaching session I had with a client that I want to kind of dive into and give you insights for that. So that way you have growth for your own life. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day.